All right. So, Jim, I guess the first question I have to ask you is, what would be your favorite song that you've ever written?
I appreciate it. It's one that I can't play on my banjo very well. It's called the Onomatopoeia Pizzeria. Do you know it?
Yes, I love
that is
song.
so good. Okay,
I love
so
that song.
our sauce goes pop. Our cheese will ooze and bubble on the top. We sprinkle any other toppings when we see ya at the Onomatopoeia Pizzeria. That's so great that you know it.
I have that song. I have that song at home, so I listen to it all the time.
Oh, that's great, right? What I like about it is, it's, you know, obviously there were like you told me that you used to listen to my songs when you were little, right?
Yeah.
But what I like about that song is it's not like a little kid song, right? It's more like kind of like from a musical theater thing or something,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah. So thanks for knowing it. That makes me really happy.
If you could pick something that there'd always be, what would you pick, and why?
May there always be.
Ooh,
I guess you got me thinking. Well, one thing I would say, can I give you two?
Sure.
One, I would say music.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think about that all the time. May there always be music. I spend a good amount of my time, and again, I love it when everybody sings in the concert.
Yeah.
And on a very separate note, I guess I would say one that a little kid gave me when I was singing at a church, and the little girl raised her hand and she said, "May there always be peace." And I loved it so much.
I love it.
Made everybody cry, and I agree with her. It's good.
Yeah. Here's one. What would be your favorite album you've ever done?
I think probably my newest one, which is the Vote for Jim Gill.
Oh.
Because I think musically, it's kind of gotten better over the years. Like there's kind of more musical things going on. But it's also got a lot of games, which like today in the concert,
right.
a lot of people wanted the games.
It's funny because my friend here who I went with and I were talking about songs that we hoped you'd play, and you played every single song we talked about.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the ones that work in a concert like this are like the game songs, right? Like Swimming Arms Are Back, Stick to the Glue.
The Sneezing Song.
Yes.
All those classics.
Yeah, well, you know how I got started doing this, I used to do play groups.
I was going to say, how did you get started doing this?
Well, I used to do play groups when I was in college, so I was 21. I used to do play groups for families actually with kids with special needs. And
I'm blind, so it counts.
Exactly. There were kids that were visually impaired sometimes, not occasionally. But a lot of the kids would be kids maybe with Down syndrome or kids maybe on the autism spectrum.
Oh, wow.
And again, it would be like kids with special needs. So like maybe you when you were little, but then also like a mom and dad or a brother and sister would be there. And we would all sit in a circle. And what I liked about the games, like the Sneezing Song, was that everybody could play.
Yes.
Right? Like it kind of worked for everybody. If there were some kids, like, you'd listen and go like, oh, I know when to sneeze, the rhyme and all that stuff. But then there would be other kids that we had some kids that didn't speak, that what they call nonverbal. But they liked that game because it would just be that, So what I liked about the game was everybody could play. And so that is, that's sort of the goal of doing all these game songs, is that everybody here can play along. There's a way to make it work for everybody.
Totally.
Little babies as well as 21-year-olds.
Sorry, I have one more question. I'm trying to remember.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite performance you've done?
I have a couple that kind of come to my mind.
Yeah.
One, let me think, my favorite. So one...
That's a toughie.
One was in Boise, Idaho.
Oh. Inspired by your Jim Gill Makes It Noisy in Boise, Idaho.
Well, funny enough, I had never been to Boise when I made that song up. It was just a rhyme.
Oh, yeah.
So then, when I worked in Boise years later, I worked for the library there in Boise, Idaho, and they said, we're going to rent this giant theater. It seats 900 people.
Sheesh.
And I said, oh, please don't, because there's nothing worse than 100 people showing up in a 900-seat theater.
So true, yeah.
And they said, well, we're wondering if there's going to be enough room in this theater. And I said, like, oh, come on. And in fact, it was completely filled up with people.
Wow.
And
That doesn't surprise.
well,
No.
it did surprise me because I've never been to Boise before.
Right.
But they sang my songs so much in the library story times that I was like kind of famous in Boise. It was kind of fun.
That's
So
cool.
that was fun. And the other fun one was I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, so
wow.
not far from here.
That's cool.
And some years ago, the Rockford Symphony Orchestra asked me if I would do a concert. So like the Beethoven thing we did today, that the time has come, show me your thumb. So that one was done with a whole orchestra. Like we did a whole concert all with orchestra.
That's so cool.
It was, and the soup opera came out of there too.
Oh wow. Can we end this with a sneezing song?
Of course. Please don't feed me black-eyed peas. You know they will do. For if you feed me black-eyed peas, I'll have to sneeze. Exactly. And what's so great about that game, the other thing that I love about that game is the waiting part. That's my favorite part, is you'll see the really little kids going like, come on, get to it. Come on, get to the stairs. Right? It's so good.
Well, thank you so much
Are
for
you
letting
kidding?
me interview.
Thank you so much for asking to be interviewed. I'm excited. I'm going to give you my, what should I do? Can I give you my email address? How would you
Of
send
course,
it?
I will definitely email this to you.
Okay, perfect. I'll just tell you what it is. It's easy.
Okay?
Jim Gill
Uh-huh.
at jimgill.com. Exactly.
That's way easy. I will definitely get this sent to you.
That is so great. I would love that. That'd be really fun. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank
I
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thanks for knowing my music all these years. I appreciate it. Hey, and good luck to you in radio, because I listen to a lot of radio. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I can send you a link to where I work and you can listen online.
That would be so great. I would really love that. Please do send me an email.
Get a picture with you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to come